Concreatures, 227, Hell Blocked, Where We At With It. Those are just some of the cool phrases and slang that you're going to hear on any given Boldy album. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Moth, and today I'm going to hit y'all with my thoughts on this new Boldy James and Nicholas Craven album entitled Fair Exchange No Robbery. So, Boldy James, he's a prolific Detroit spitter, known for painting vivid pictures of the Detroit drug game. And he's really underrated when it comes to getting props for his coke talk, and always embedded in his bars is some unique encrypted slang. Now, Boldy James is another artist with a very consistent catalog. His delivery might not be everyone's cup of tea, but the man is lyrically gifted and is able to craft very dope albums. And he is 4 for 4 with his collaborations with The Alchemist. And earlier in the year, he released the very solid Killing Nothing with Real Bad Man. But that brings us to this brand new project, Fair Exchange No Robbery, in which he enlisted the help of Nicholas Craven, the Canadian producer best known for his work with Ransom, and who since 2020 has really been a sought after producer for some of underground rap's elite. This thing contains 10 songs lasting approximately 36 minutes, all the beats done, of course, by Nicholas Craven. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with this track by track breakdown. The opener, Straight and Tall, has an attractive sample that blends the flute with an angelic female vocal harmony. Boldy gives us his memoirs as an orphan who grew to be the big 227 patriarch. And he speaks on always standing up straight and tall for soldiers in the field. I like to shout out to the legendary 8-Ball and MJG with Know Some Real Dudes in the Pen. Free 8-Ball blew up in the 10 like MJG and 8-Ball. The 10 standing for Tennessee, of course, or as Young Buck used to call it, Tennessee. Boldy reminds us he had to grind on frigid corners just to get it. As he describes, had to plow through the snowstorm, now my neck's a blizzard. So overall, strong opening track with a blissful backdrop. Track 2, Stuck in Traffic, has an upbeat and vibrant sample of female vocals mixed with strings. It has that 70s soul singer nightclub feel. Boldy raps about the effects of being knee deep in the street life with I've been shot at, I've been set up, I've been backstabbed and snitched on. The stress of the ops and the feds weighs heavy as he talks about pacing back and forth in the crib because he knows they are coming. But still, Boldy tells whoever, if they are looking for him, that he's somewhere stuck in traffic. So as a whole, dope song with more of a bouncy and cheerful instrumental. Track 3, Scrabble, has a bright and funky male vocal sample and minimal percussion. It's a little more lo-fi. Here Boldy, he separates the real from the fake and speaks on holding his city down, all the while dodging the feds and the alphabet boys. So we're getting a lot of stunning wordplay throughout. Boldy raps, "Ask who did it first. Me, that's who. Whole brick of Sade. That shit's the sweetest taboo. From where the FBI and the DEA will snatch you, give you so many letters, shit, it looks like you playing Scrabble." Now, track 4, Town and Country, is basically the audio equivalent to the cover art, where Boldy raps about making 100,000 monthly while trapping in that country town out of that town and country. And the cover art seems to suggest just that. You will see a snow-covered town, likely in Canada, and the image of a man pouring out lean. And you can imagine all the blow that Boldy has allegedly moved through this town. But this track has a hazy and melancholic soul sample where the vocalist sings about hard times. Boldy speaks in code with the bars, "Code word for brick is white ones. My youngin' middleman, me two pair. Put a one-on-one, and that's a friendly game of 2 square." I also thought the following lines were super clever. "Put a brick up for adoption. This ain't no orphanage. Project full of zombies looking like a horror flick. Got some dynamite blow with this shit stronger than a quarter stick." But the following Old Trey 9 with Gway Wop is the closest thing to being a banger on this project in terms of the sample, the energy, and the bass. The Welcome Back Chipmunk sample is pretty addicting too. Now, what we get here is a dope back and forth between Boldy and Gway. Gway's raw and off-kilter delivery complements Boldy's smooth and carefree one. And they're basically screaming free to guys in the feds and bragging about being known for moving weight across state lines. It's gangster shit to the bone. A couple vivid drug zone lines from Boldy are skin popping in her vein, look like a tire track, and pour some water on his chest to make sure he ain't wiretapped. I thought Gway Wop was a standout feature overall, and I dug when he said, "Unk running out of veins, he's shooting in his nuts." Pretty disturbing stuff. Afterwards is Monterey Jack, which has a slower, shadowy, and cinematic beat, and Boldy's movie-like depictions here almost resemble that of watching a slow burn Western movie. It's another record where his storytelling and picture painting was so intricate. Then the pace picks up with the luxurious Designer Drugs, where we get this breezy and feel-good sax loop that feels straight out of an 80s film. The jazzy melody is instantly memorable, and I can only imagine like Ransom or Spesh, rapping very victoriously over. Here, Boldy drops some slick talk about having the money and the power. He states, "Real hustler, I can sell a vampire blood, stepped out in all Prada, now they call me Designer Drugs." And just another example of his sharp lyricism can be found with "Big city, small China, started as small timers, scared to dwell on my past. I got Alzheimer's, told him my 30, me and my girlie pulling all-nighters. She made me wish I never met her on my Carl Thomas." Immediately after is Six Toes with its haunting and psychedelic keyboards. That definitely puts you in a trance. It deceptively has a lot of low end too. On here, Boldy is shouting out all of his peoples, whether they be dealers, villains, or killers. And he's dropping a lot of numbers too, as he's been known to do on a lot of songs. It's definitely a unique beat from Craven that complements Boldy's icy and cold delivery. The second to last track is You Aint No Menace, which has a calming chipmunk female vocal loop that I could have envisioned Ghostface doing some damage on. Now, Boldy floats effortlessly over this nocturnal production, especially on the second verse where he leaves Earth. Boldy talks about stepping foot in the drug game at the very tender age of 9. And he raps, "I just pray to God that he don't let my past haunt me and I can count my sins all out in cash money." As a whole, it's definitely one of the standouts that displays his superb lyricism. Then the album wraps up with the single Power Naps, which has been out for some time. And I wouldn't be surprised if this title was inspired by Prodigy's power rap. But this has another hushed chipmunk soul beat that's ultra soothing, resembling that of a gangster's lullaby. And the theme of the song is sleep, in all the ways that Boldy is either giving out sleep through violence or getting sleep or not getting enough sleep due to his lean consumption. Some standout lines include, "Wake your whole hood up, let that Drake sing you a lullaby, man, a few words. I know you heard, I'm short, cut, and dry. And Drake got a dude moving slow like I got special needs," even though that's mad disrespectful. Overall, I give this project a rating of 4 mics, probably somewhere between the 4 and 4.3 range. Nicholas Craven's production was eclectic, vintage, and beautiful throughout. The only instrumental that I wasn't really in love with was Scrabble, but it's not a bad beat. It's unique for sure. Now, as far as Boldy's performance was concerned, I felt he delivered again with his precise and detailed drug bars, and perhaps in terms of flow and delivery, he sounded even smoother and more in his bag than on Killing Nothing. I also wanted to mention that I like the incorporation of the skits with his brother from jail. I thought that they helped to make it more cohesive and cinematic. It seems like Boldy's brother really wanted him to stay out the way and to focus solely on the music, but you get the sense that the street life has its hold over Boldy still, and he could go either way at any moment. But yeah, you can add this to the list of strong Boldy albums, and it continues to display Nicholas Craven's growth as a producer. My favorite tracks include Straight and Tall, Stuck in Traffic, O-Chain 9, Monterey Jack, Designer Drugs, Six Toes, and You Ain't No Menace. Let me know what you thought about this album in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. Boldy James, Nicholas Craven, Fair Exchange No Robbery, 1.